Welcome back, everyone. It is I, the Oscar-nominated a-hole, and today I'm going to talk to you about my belief that is the Neo-Wick theory. Now, if you're wondering exactly what this theory is, it is my personal belief, based on the films, that there's a possibility of an interconnected world of Neo and his spiritual journey as the savior of humanity in the Matrix to two other films. The film Knock Knock, which is a devastating watch, but I highly recommend it, and the John Wick trilogy franchise. Now, a lot of people might come to this video and automatically think, no, wait a minute, I think you're overlooking into this, and how could this possibly be? How could this work? Now, the reason why I'm saying that it is able to work is because you would have to take into account something that a lot of people do not want to take into account, and that is the religious aspects of the Matrix trilogy. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people stay away from that. People are like, that's my least favorite part about it. I don't know if it's because it's stereotypical or they just personally don't like religion. I don't know. Personally, to me, I thought it was symbolic. It made sense to me because he was the savior of humanity. Why not throw in some Christological elements and symbols in there? Why the hell not? It makes sense to me. They base a lot of other stuff in the Matrix and everything off of Buddhism and nihilism and just a bunch of other philosophies. So why can't you throw in some Christological, Christian monotheistic belief into it as well? That's how I come to this conclusion. So if you have never seen the movie Knock Knock, again, it's frustrating to watch because you're just like, come on, but at the same time, it's actually a very good film. I highly recommend it. By the time you finish it, you will be wanting to punch someone in the fucking face. Because you'll be so furious and mad, because I know I was. Especially as a guy. Basically, these two girls show up at this guy's doorstep, Keanu Reeves, and he's a very well-to-do man. He's very wealthy, and these two girls seemingly seem to be lost. They're going to a party. They've kind of lost track. They kind of need some. Can they dry off? Could they come inside and get and call up their friends? Keanu Reeves' wife is gone, but he's nice. He's like, yeah, sure. Come on in. Potato towels. And I recently rewatched this film, and he does not want to be near them. He does not. He doesn't like to be near them. He's afraid. I think when they first asked to, he's like, you should go down to that guy, or you should go over here. And they're like, oh, well, they're all out of town, so we can't really. You're the only person on the block that's like has that anyone's home. So, of course, basically they end up ruining his life, forcing him into sexual acts. And as a dude, once you have two super hot girls naked, touching all over you, almost every guy will say, and I'll agree, you kind of just, your other brain starts to think. Your other head is working instead of your real logical head. And so he finds himself in that situation, and he regrets it throughout the rest of the movie, and the girls use him and abuse him. And then what I don't understand about it, this is just another rant and a side tangent, is that they say it's all his fault. And I'm like, no, it's not. You're the ones who were forcing him into this. If you never knocked on his door, if you never forced him into a sexual interaction with him, because he was openly saying, nah, mate, I don't want any of this. Get the fuck away from me. He wouldn't have done anything. You made him do it. Anyways, I don't understand the whole point of that. But it's like hell. It's like torture. And so if the Matrix is Neo's walk to the cross, so to speak, sacrificing for himself, he eventually will become reincarnated. As they said, the one comes back every so often into the Matrix. Well, before he's reincarnated, in the Christological story, he goes to hell and he suffers. This, in my opinion, is Knock Knock. Having to suffer and to have sins and have to suffer for things that he didn't even do, which is true. He never made that conscious decision to have sex with him. They forced it upon him. Just like the sins of humanity was forced upon the Christological figure, just like the responsibility and the weight of the people's lives in the Matrix was thrust upon Neo. He didn't choose that. It was his destiny. Same thing with Knock Knock in regards to the situation and hell and everything. Then we get to John Wick, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people agree with this part of the theory, which is his return, and he's ready to bring fucking vengeance. He's ready to come back and fight the fuck out of this shit. Which, at the end of John Wick 3, Parabellum, we all know that's what his decision is for John Wick 4. He sides up with Fort Lawrence Fishburne, who played Morpheus in the Matrix trilogy, and says, let's fight the system that has controlled us for so long. That has, let's fight it, let's destroy it. And John's like, yeah, let's do that. So, that's my theory. That in a Christological sense, in regard to the religious aspects that are presented in the Matrix trilogy, the Matrix trilogy is the ascension to sacrificing oneself for others. Knock Knock is the descent into hell, and between the return and the death. And John Wick is the return. And, of course, this is all within the confines of the fact that there is no Matrix 4. But that's fine. It's whatever. Not yet, of course. We'll be getting a Matrix 4. But it's always fun to think about what could be, what could have been. So anyways, that's my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. If anyone watches this and happened to make it to the end, share it, like it, subscribe it. I appreciate it. If you did make it all the way, for some reason, when I'm not talking about news, everyone's just like, meh. But there's not much news going on nowadays, right now, other than the fact that theaters are considering opening. I know the ones in the state of Georgia, they're opening next week. That's cool. Hopefully that can be a test subject so that other states can be like, well, might as well. And I think AMC is definitely going to jump on that and reopen in Georgia because they're in bankruptcy almost, and they need the help. Anyways, thank you for watching. Have a great day.